Welcome to the Fence and Deck Mastery Podcast, where we discuss cutting-edge techniques, industry trends, and business insights to take your fence or deck company to the next level and dominate your competition. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fence and Deck Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Danner, and also the founder of Fence and Deck Marketers, which is a digital marketing agency that works exclusively with fencing and decking businesses. If you listened to the podcast before, you know I like to talk a lot about digital marketing and really how you can utilize that to make more money. But I also like to do interviews with industry experts from the fencing and decking industry. And today I'm very excited to have one of our clients, Steve Kirk, on the call. He's a deck builder from New Hampshire and is the owner and founder of Premier Deck. So Steve, how you doing? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. It's going really well up here right now. Pretty mild winter, so that's good for us to work all winter long.
Yeah. And you're also in Maine too. I guess you live in New Hampshire, but it's real close to the border there. So yeah, no shortage of cold winters up there. But all right, Steve, do you mind just kind of tell me a little bit about Premier Deck and how long you've been in business, the size of it, services, different things like that?
Yeah, so we started in 2018, so this April will be 6 years. We are located in Rochester, so we cover about a 40-mile radius around Rochester, so that covers southern New Hampshire up to the ocean and then into the mountains, and then also western Maine. We are strictly just decks. We like to use TimberTech decking, mainly the AZAC deck board. Variety of different railings. We're able to work all year long. I have 5 guys right now. We're actively hiring more. Typically run a 2-man crew. Our average builds are 1 to 3 weeks.
Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, I know we've talked about in the past, but I think it would be useful to the audience kind of talk about the different boards. I mean, the reasons why you go like towards TimberTech, or who acquired AZEC, if I'm not mistaken, and then them versus Trex. I mean, is there any reason why because sometimes I hear, companies are just Trex only. I mean, is there specific reasons why you like the TimberTech line or why you went, primarily just to them?
Yeah, it's really it's the AZAC line, which is part of TimberTech. So AZAC and TimberTech combined, it must have been, I don't know, 8 years ago. I can't even remember. I've always used AZAC when they first came out in the mid 2000s. It's a PVC board. For me, I think it has a 50-year warranty. It's just a great all-around board. The fit and finish once you're done, easy to work with. It's a little on the more expensive side, but it is just a great board, and I hardly ever have callbacks. It's just our go-to board. We will put down other boards if someone were trying to match someone's deck. But if it's a new deck and the client has no idea what to put down, we steer them towards the AZAC PVC board from TimberTech.
Gotcha. Are you doing any wood decks, or is it just all composite?
Yeah, we do pressure treated wood, and we do maybe a couple mahoganies. I mean, the majority of our decks are the AZAC composite. I'd say maybe 10% is a pressure treated deck, and then we might do one hardwood deck a year.
Gotcha. Okay. So I know the business was started 6 years ago. I know you've been doing it for this type of work for a while, but I mean, what can you explain kind of the history behind it, why you got started and started your own shop?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to have my own business, so that's just what I've growing up, that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure what business, I just knew I wanted to run my own business. In '09, I started in '07 a remodeling company that did not survive the downturn. So I ended up going to work for a construction company. I was a site supervisor for them for 5 years. And then 2018, 2017, actually, I just got the itch again. So I started really doing some research, and even before then, I knew I wanted to focus on just decks, because when I had my remodeling company, that was very profitable for us. I like staying outside. I don't want to go in and tear up someone's kitchen or bathroom and just disrupt their life. So for me, it's just we're outside. So I just got that itch again, and then 2018 rolled around, and I made the leap. It was I think April 8th was my first deck. And then, yeah, I'm really glad I niched down. I think niching down really does help with success. I mean, that's all we do. We've kind of have a repeatable system. clients, our customer services, we try to really excel on that, and I feel it's easier to do when we have a repeatable system. They know every step along the way what's going to happen, and it really, I am really glad we niched down and just focused on one aspect.
Yeah, that's what I pretty much always hear. That seems to always be the case. Is I guess when a lot of the times I might hear a business owner that's doing some kind of construction, remodeling, whatever it may be, all kinds of stuff. Always they seem to say, they go towards the, niching down, just one service, because otherwise it's just crazy having different crews for all these different things you do, and then also the quality control side of it. It just gets overwhelming fast.
Easier for me to train new people. I mean, we have younger kids coming in that have no experience, and because it's
Yeah.
a repeatable system, we can set up training modules in our shop. We can get them up to speed fairly quickly, and it's just we can bring the younger generation into the trades.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Okay. And then for 2023, where did you end up hitting for revenue?
We were at 1.8, I believe, is what we sold. We produced like 1.2, and it was like I would say 10% above the year before. And this year, we're kind of setting ourselves up to do 2 million to 2.1 this year.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Um, all right. And then in terms of profitability, I would like to kind of dive into so never really talked about this with anybody, especially on the podcast, but any term when you're talking about, composite versus wood, or even the specific types of composite boards, do you see any differences in profitability? I mean, any any service that you're doing that you seem to make more? I know you're just doing decks. Is there anything you seem to make more money off of? Is it a different board, or is it, just some service that seems to make more money, more profit?
Yeah, I mean, for us, the labor involved in either a pressure treated deck or a composite deck is essentially the same labor. There's not
Right.
much difference in it. So whether we're putting down a PT board or an AZAC composite, it's the price difference on the actual boards. And we have a straight markup, so we bring home we have the same markup but bring home less profit on a PT board as opposed to a composite. But like I said, I mean, 90% of our decks are composite. I say that the things that really do, like a lighting package, they're fairly easy to install. We can install them quickly. I can kind of mark that up because it's more of a premium thing. And even like
Yeah.
cable rail, everybody wants cable rail. It's a premium product, so I can mark that up a little bit more. But I mean, because we basically are doing the same project over and over, just different square footage or different options. There's not one thing that like sticks out as a more profitable option.
Gotcha. Okay. And when you're you're doing your sales meetings, is there anything, any kind of unique selling position that you typically like to say that really you've seen help, close more sales or really separate yourself in the, the marketplace?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people, even in reviews and people I've talked to that decided to go with us, it's our process. From the first contact until the very end of the project, they kind of know each step of the way, each milestone. We try like hell to hold up our end of the bargain. I mean, not everybody's perfect, but we make it right if we messed up or tripped up along the way. But it really is our process. It's just we have this workflow, and the team is just all in step with that workflow. And I've heard so many times from, like I said, the reviews and just people that said, yeah, we went with you because of your process.
So you do a good job, I guess, explaining that when you're there and talking to them, kind of outlining it, they feel a lot more comfortable about what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. Even on our first call. So our steps are they contact us, we schedule a 15-minute call to make sure they're the right fit, right service area, right product, right what we don't do repairs. So just make sure they're the right fit. And then I spell out what happens. I come out, I can give you a ballpark on the spot. I have an app on my iPad to do that. So I give them a range where I think the project will land if they want to move forward. Then we kick in. We have a proposal fee, a formal proposal fee. So we do charge for the formal proposals, which kind of helps weed out tire kickers.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then we can do renderings, a design service as well. So if they want to pay for that. And then we use an application for our project management and proposals called JobTread. Once they once we create a proposal, then they land in the JobTread platform, and we can communicate through there. And if they go with us, if they sign on the line, then we can order all our materials through there, and just they see every step of the way. They get daily logs. If we do a lot for people with second homes, so they're not even at the house when we're doing the project, but
Right.
they daily log of the progress. They see pictures, any issues we might have run into, rot issues or whatever. We can issue change orders right away. It just is very transparent, and they know what to expect.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about job trade here in a little bit later on too. Get some more specifics on that because I know you're a really big fan of it. But on the marketing side, as far as obviously we do all digital marketing, but just curious on the offline marketing. I mean, is there any types of offline marketing you're doing that you're seeing working or not working?
Really, it's and I kind of keeping my eye on this with COVID and everything that happened with the remodel industry during COVID. We were not hurting for leads.
Right.
So the digital platform, consistent social media posts, and what you've been doing for me has worked. But I'm kind of keeping my eye out that if the economy does slow down a little bit, the leads will be harder to get, that we might have to do more traditional like direct marketing or email marketing. We really don't do any of that right now because we're really focused on the social and the digital marketing. Um, so we got referrals. I mean, people see our trucks, our signs. That's obviously that does help us, but it's really just the digital marketing that your company does.
Gotcha. So you've never done like billboards or like any kind of radio commercials, anything like that?
No, no,
Okay.
nothing like that.
Okay. What about just curious, have you ever joined like local networking groups like BNI, Chamber of Commerce, anything like that?
Yeah, it's on my to-do list for this year. Again, because of we were just with COVID, we were just nonstop, but I can kind of see it. It's slowing down a little bit. So just I gotta, and I'm putting the team in place that it gives me more time to do that. So I'm gonna be signing up for networking groups, chambers and all that. Just to try to get my face out there even more and do a little bit
Yeah.
more networking and grow our footprint.
Yeah. I will say BNI, I was a member of it for quite a while and it's a little bit of a commitment, but I guess without that commitment of like a weekly, I'm assuming all the chapters are pretty similar. You do like a weekly call with everybody on there. You kind of do like a pitch. You tell them, whatever you're promoting, or just tell the other members about your business. And I know on the home service side, it's a lot of people really killed it because
Mm.
there's a well finding the guy with a realtor, a good realtor, a big realtor in there. I remember that was just went bananas because whenever somebody had a new house and they didn't like this about their deck or plumbing, whatever the case may be, he would
Okay.
refer all kinds of people to you. So yeah, I was definitely a fan. It's very very organized. BNI is. I never joined the Chamber of Commerce. I think from what I've heard, maybe that's a little bit less time intensive, but
Yeah.
yeah, they do seem like a really good job. And then there's other contractors that maybe they do fencing and or they do plumbing, whatever, roofing, and they can kind of refer you out that way too. So
Right. Yeah, I did go to one meeting. One of my vendors, he invited me, so I went to one meeting, and it was during our busy season, so I just couldn't commit to it. But I'm
yeah,
that's on like I said, it's on my list this year to commit to more time just to networking like that.
gotcha. Are you part of NADRA or any other
Yeah.
decking
I am
associations?
part of
Okay.
America. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You ever go to any of the conferences or meetups and stuff they have?
I haven't done a meetup, and the only reason I don't go to their conference is it kind of falls in line with the Timber Tech conference that we've been going to for the past 3 years,
Gotcha.
right within that same week. And I always end up going to the Timber Tech conference.
Gotcha. Yeah, you'd think they would coordinate that one a little better. There's probably a lot of people with overlap there. Okay. Well, then on the digital side, I know, of course, what we're doing for you, but I mean, I can't remember if you used like Yelp or Angie's List, Thumbtack. Did you ever use them in the past?
I did when I first started, and I didn't get much traction on it. Even House, I got a couple leads, and I just even Facebook, the leads I get from them, I don't think are as qualified as
Yeah.
people on Google.
Yeah.
Um, And then my wife, she handles all the social media, so she's doing posts constantly. We did look into Nextdoor because I've got a couple referrals. I'm not even really active on Nextdoor, but they find me on Nextdoor. Um, so
Gotcha.
we're looking into that as well. But it's our digital ads. It's all the behind the scenes stuff that your company does, and the social media is what's really driving us right now.
Gotcha. Okay. And if you don't mind, like speaking to that, the SEO side, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I know we're managing it, but from your point of view.
Yeah, so when I first started the company, I was trying to do a lot of it myself, and then I got hooked up with another marketing company. I think it was my second year in, and I was with them. They were doing what I thought was a good job, but then towards the end, I got shifted to different managers or representatives. So I went through
Mhm.
like 3 and 6 months, and I think they were growing bigger, and I was a smaller account, so I wasn't getting the service I was expecting. Um, and then I got a random email from you, so I'm like, I'll schedule a call. And I think I'm going to be a year in April with you, and I just see a way more customer service and just doing what you said you were going to do, and I just see my numbers, SEO numbers just climbing and organic numbers climbing, and it's just it really is a good ROI jumping over to your company.
I appreciate that. And your particular example is always something I think about because I remember when we first started, your office was in a much small, like it was, I think it was your house,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Small
Yeah.
town, very small
Yeah,
town.
smaller town. Yeah, low population. And then your shop was in a different city in Rochester and kind of looked up the difference in population. We are like, oh, that's the first thing we should do. And
Mhm.
something that I'm always preaching because, if there's nobody around, SEO is not going to do much for you.
Right.
So if you have, and not even that, I mean, it's not in a good area. You can be a very highly populated area, but people that don't want to spend, $20,000 or more on a nice deck. So that part there is just so crucial. So I always revert back to that example because I remember just it was a nice, I guess, improvement or a
Yeah.
quick win we could get to.
Yep,
So,
exactly. Yep.
um, and the Google Ad side, thoughts on, I know we've been talking about that too, but Google search ads, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably could pay more attention to it. I'm trusting what your company's doing, and I'm seeing the result. So it's definitely working for me. It's just so many of my quality leads are coming through Google. They search me on
Yeah.
Google, and then whether they fill out the form on the website or they call into our receptionist and we ask, "How did you hear from us?" Typically it's a Google search.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the great part about Google and search engines because Facebook, as you were saying, you absolutely can generate Facebook ads, and it's not a bad idea. But I know we spoke about this recently and kind of weighing the options and like exhausting everything resources with Google and increasing your pay per click spending. Doing SEO the right way is the money best spent in the beginning until you kind of get to the point where you're like, you really need a lot more leads or whatever the case may be for your business. But when people need a deck, they're going to be going to Google. That's why we can see people typing in deck builder near me, composite deck, Trex deck, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
So it's definitely where people go. It's like last time I checked, it was like 87% of people go to Google when they need some kind of home service provider or some service provider of some sort. So
Yep.
definitely powerful there. And then, yeah, I know your wife, she was on one of our webinars. She's doing a good job with all the social media stuff. So she's posting there pretty consistently, right?
Yeah, she has it on her to-do list at least 3 times a week. So yeah,
Yes.
she'll post something. Yep.
Yeah, I saw some cool videos. I even saw some selfie videos that you did. I haven't seen it in a while, but I know you did a couple. That was good. And that's what, I mean, that was, even though it probably felt a little weird to do, maybe, I don't know. It definitely feels weird for me when I first started doing them, but people like to see the, friendly face, I guess, and builds trust versus not really knowing who's going to show up at your house and be building your deck. So
Exactly. Yep.
I thought that looked really good. Okay, so let's see here. Anything, I guess, anything in the past, I guess we talk about Angie's List. Is there any other types of marketing you've done at some point that you're just like, this didn't work? Anything besides like the Angie Leads, Thumbtack, anything else offline or online that you just weren't really a fan of?
Yeah, I've never done Angie's. I've kind of looked into that, and it just seems like it's it's just people looking for the lowest price, and it's just I'm not the lowest price. And then Thumbtack, I've never really looked into Thumbtack. I was doing stuff on Yelp when we first started, and also on House. Um, and then like it's just I mentioned Nextdoor, but it's just because people said they found me on Nextdoor, but I wasn't actively doing anything. So it's just it's Instagram. My wife's really picking up on TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, and then she does posts on Facebook, and then all the SEO and organic stuff, the blog posts that you guys are putting out for us.
And how does she manage the videos? I mean, is it her that's filming it all, or do you send her videos, or do your guys do it? Like, how do you create the social media videos
Yeah,
consistently?
so the videos will mostly be either her going out or I send something to her, or even we were putting in footings the other day and my guy was filming it and sent it to her. Um, a lot of the pictures, my guys know that she'll grab them from the daily logs. So they kind of take time when they setting up and doing their end of day pictures that she can pull a lot of pictures just from the daily logs. And the guys, like I say, they know they're mindful of that. So they kind of take a little bit more time to get a quality picture. And then she'll post right from the daily log. She'll just download it from our job tread portable and put it right onto social media.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, this one we talk about often with the review side. I mean, do you have any I guess a process that you use? I'm always because online reviews, Google reviews are so important, as you just mentioned too. But is there anything special that you guys are doing to attract them? I mean, anything you could speak to that?
Yep, that's my wife's pet project. So she's been with me a year and a half, and within the first month of her joining, I was not very on top of getting Google reviews. I'd ask people, but she came up with this process. She puts together a little gift package with stuff for grilling. So it's barbecue sauce or rubs
Nice.
or something like that to go with the grilling out on the deck.
Yeah.
She puts a thank you card, she puts the warranty information, and then she puts a little QR code or is a link that they can go right to the Google review and and they can leave a review. So she mails that out, she tracks it, she sees when they get it. Then she if they don't do a review, she has this trickle campaign that she'll follow up. I don't know, I forget what her timeline is, but we just got one, I think yesterday. She sent the package maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and then she followed up yesterday, and the guy he left us a 5-star review. So
Nice.
she's really, I mean, before she started, I might have had 12 reviews. I don't know. And now I think we're pushing 40, 45, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yep. Yep. Excellent. Yeah. The I like the added touch there too for the like the basket for hanging out on the deck too. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's pretty much. Yeah, I would be interested to know if there's like some statistics behind that, like what percentage leave it. I don't know if you guys track that at all to see like who's leaving a review without you having to follow up versus if you do. I mean, do they typically leave it long out or shortly after they receive the basket, or is it,
It's
you have to
really
follow
hit or miss. It is some will come in right away. Some customers will say, "How can I leave a review?" Before we even done the job, they're like, "How can I leave you a review?" And
up?
as soon
Nice.
as we're done, you'll get a package, you'll get a link, and you can leave a Google review. And there's some people she'll do 2 or 3 follow-ups and then eventually she'll stop. And then a month later, it's like life just gets in the way type thing that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but for the most part, I mean, she would know all the percentages and all that. But for most of them that we send out the gift package, they do leave a review.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, you mentioned this in the beginning. I want to make sure we talk about this because I know you're a really big fan of job tread. So if you could just kind of explain this, some of the highlights, how you use it, what you really like about it, how other contractors, might get the same benefits from it.
Yeah, so we've been on job tread a little over a year. I've tried many different platforms. I've tried Co-Construct. I looked into Build-A-Trend. Those are the two big ones, and actually Build-A-Trend bought Co-Construct. I put together my own spreadsheets. I put together, there's an app, a platform called Airtable that you can kind of build out your own like dashboards. I played around with that, and then I found this job thread through YouTube. It popped up on my YouTube feed one day. So excuse me. So I looked into that. I signed up for the little demo, and it really was. I was really impressed. It's pretty lightweight. I mean, I'm not a home builder, so I don't need a bunch of bells and whistles. Our projects are 1 to 2 weeks long, maybe at the most 4 weeks long. So I just needed something lightweight that we can easily get proposals out, have cost catalogs. So for our CRM, we've been with Pipedrive since I started the company. I found that, and I really like that for CRM. So we do all the leads coming in go through Pipedrive. But once they move to the next phase, that they want a formal proposal, that they want a rendering, or that they sign on the dotted line and go with us, they then go into JobTread. And with JobTread, I can create the formal proposal. I can create the purchase orders that I send to the vendor. I put all the plans on there. So there's a little files tab that my guys run with iPads. So they have all the information they need. They have the plans, they have the permit, they see any communications with the customer, like say the customer changed the deck board color or whatever, or wanted another light. It all lands in JobTread, so everybody sees it. We can do time tracking in there. We can do scheduling. They have the Gantt chart capability. And like I said, the daily logs, so the customer sees all that. We can limit what the customer can see, but it's really just an overview of what we did that day. Then they can see all their payments, and I can see on the back end, I can pull reports and all that. And of all the ones I've tried, it really is a really well thought out product, and the price point is fairly inexpensive for what you're getting compared to the other ones, the big names in the industry.
What is their pricing? How do they charge?
Use I want to say like it's the base rate of 149 a month,
Oh wow.
and then I think it's $20 for each user you add.
Okay. What is
So
that? How does that compare with I'm not sure the price of like Builder Trend, and I know there's other ones like Service Titan, which I know is very expensive.
yeah, I know,
Is
sir. I've never looked at it. I've heard it. So we used to be with Co-Construct, and when we were with them, I think it was like $200 a month or something like that. And then when I started looking again before I found JobTread, I went and looked at Co-Construct again, which was now part of Builder-Trend. And I think their base price was $350 a month, and then you
okay.
add users on top of that. So I think I would have been paying like $800 a month, and I just did not see the value in that.
Yeah.
Uh, right
So
now, I must be paying, with all my guys, I think we're 250 a month, but I can't
okay.
remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a lot cheaper. And do they have any like add-ons and things you have to pay for separately besides the users? Anything like that? No. Nice.
That's the other nice thing. It's all built right in, and you
Yeah.
pay the base price, and you pay for the users, and you get the full everything that they throw into the system.
Okay. Are they a newer company, JobTread?
I just went to the conference and they were talking about their history. I think they started in like 2015 or 16.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not too new. Okay. Well, yeah, I know there's a lot of options out there, so I definitely wanted to talk with that in case I don't know. There, like you said, if it's just maybe it's well. First off, could you use JobTread for basically any kind of should look into this myself, but any home service? I mean, is it
Yeah.
specific for? Okay.
When I went to the conference, I mean, there's custom home builders doing multi-million-dollar homes. There's companies like me that's we're not really a service company, but we are just a smaller remodeling company that has smaller, quicker jobs.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be really like for landscaping or like a weekly service type thing. I don't really think it's set up for that.
Okay.
But definitely for anything home remodeling, it really is a good system.
Some more like one-off projects, construction projects, kind of thing.
Yeah, that formal proposals, putting together
Yeah.
formal proposals, purchase orders. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So probably good for fencing and decking, I would imagine.
They
Okay.
just, I got a webinar this afternoon. They just teamed up with TimberTech.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're supposedly all the TimberTech products, all the whole catalog will be directly in job tread. So I can,
Oh, nice.
and I don't know what the other integrations are. I'll find out this afternoon, but I went to their conference in January and they talked about this upcoming um, collaboration. So that's happening this month. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay. And then kind of wind down. Just got a couple more things for you, but um, anything like specific that you could say? I mean, you've obviously grown your company consistently and seen a lot of success. So just curious, anybody out there that's maybe smaller than you or whatever size, I guess, but any specific knowledge you could say to an owner of a fencing or decking business, trying to take their business to the next level, any kind of insight that or help that you could give them to reach that next level?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me right now, hiring is, as with everybody, hiring is pretty difficult. So just you got to build a good company culture to bring in quality people. Um, and I really do think our process really makes a difference. Like I said before, we have hiccups, but we try to make it as seamless as possible. Um, so I think just having a standard process and again, just focusing on one thing, getting really good at one
Yeah.
thing. That is made. If I was trying to do a kitchen and bath one day, a roof the next day, windows the next day, it's just too many moving parts. But
Yeah.
we go to the backyard, we build a deck, customers love it, and we're on to the next one. We just really were able to, and we're trying to get. I'm working with a business coach right now. I've been with her for a year. I'm gonna extend another year and we're just trying to make a repeatable process that we can hand off to the crews and just make a great customer experience.
Nice. Does she help you create processes like that? I mean, is she like deck specific?
She's 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 the building industry. She came from a like a franchise landscape company. She was with them, their office manager for like 12 years and set up systems for them. She's been coaching for now, I think she said 12 years. So she's been helping me this past year. It's just been one-on-one helping me like put the background, like the core values and the culture and building all that. And now this coming year is she has a program called Boots on the Ground where she either sits down with me and my project manager or she'll go out in the field. I won't even be there. She'll just go out in the field, talk to the guy
Nice.
and just get recommendations, changes, better systems, better processes. So we're starting that with that Boots on the Ground program in April. So that's going to make a huge difference, I believe.
Nice. Okay. Is it just her? Does she have a like company or I mean, how's
No,
it
just
work?
her. She's based out of Maine. I found her online. I was looking for a business coach, and she stuck out just because she's been in the building industry.
Yeah.
And she was close enough. Like a lot of coaches, that they weren't near me that I would have to do Zoom calls, and I wanted just someone that I could sit down and do a one-on-one with.
Yeah.
So I've been with her for a year, and I'm going to extend another year, and it's really has made a big difference.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
Investment. I mean, it's a monthly fee, but it's an investment that it can pay dividends.
Yeah. And I think somebody that kind of you know, I'm sure you have all kinds of plans of things you want to do and you sit down and have someone that'll discuss with it, has some experience, and then create a plan that can also hold you accountable to it later
Yeah.
too. I
Yep,
noticed.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That I've had several business coaches, and that was always what I because it's like in your mind you're kind of thinking about it, and you're like, I know what I need to do. What do I need a coach for? But then when you have someone that is sitting down and literally coming up with a plan with you, and it's kind of like you're working together, it's more fun that way for one. And then you have those weekly calls, and you kind of feel bad if you didn't you didn't do what you said you were going to do.
And
So
that's the thing with her, that the boots on the ground program, the way she told me about it is like, I become your project manager for your business. So like all these systems and these little things we want to implement, I track them. She goes, you have to do the work, but I'm managing them. I'm making sure you're hitting the milestones. It's just another it's stuff that I would never have time to do. I would never be able to
yeah,
focus on managing all the working on the business projects instead of working in the business projects.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, is there any additional, nuggets of wisdom, insight, anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think just putting systems in place and doing research. I mean, you came to me, you sent me a random email, but I was getting this feeling that my previous marketing company just they were starting to not hold up their end of the bargain, and you just happen to, but you just got to do research. I mean, it's hard. You're trying to do a million other things as the owner, but you just got to
Yeah.
keep an eye on the ball and just and really focus on customer service and process and building your company culture that employees want to work there. But it's a lot of work, but
Yep.
it's very enjoyable and very rewarding.
Yep. If you didn't love it, you'd hate it, I guess, right?
Still here 6 years later, so
Yep, yep. Okay. Well, yeah, Steve, that's all the questions I had for you. Just wanted to, thank you again for coming on to the podcast and sharing all your knowledge. I know everybody that listens to this definitely got a lot of value from your expertise. So just thank you for coming out, and it's been fun, interviewing you and talking like it always is. But going forward with Fence and Deck Mastery podcast, we will be continuing to do weekly podcasts on either marketing content from me or interviews with industry experts like Steve. Trying to mix it up as much as possible and think about it any way that we can bring somebody on that has some kind of specialized knowledge, like we did the last time with kind of hiring VAs and people overseas. So trying to mix it up as much as possible, do one every week. Would like to do even more than that. That's the plan, but for now it's going to be around one each week. But if you have any questions about marketing, for your fencing or decking business, feel free to reach out to us. You can go to our website, deckfencemarketers.com, or search for us on every social media channel: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube too. So we also be doing the monthly webinars. If you want to attend those, feel free to reach out. If you're not on that email list, you can come on there, ask questions, and see what we have to share relating to marketing. But that's really it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you again, Steve, for coming on here, and we'll see you next time.
thank you.